with Franklin and Edmondson, all those old explorers from back in the day. The shipwrecks, you know, aren't far from here. Real thrill and real honor to kind of get us somewhat of a taste of that on this trip. Not nearly the same thing, but I understand the struggle that they wanted and why they loved it so much up here, because it's absolutely magical. It is morning number 90. I'm starting to have doubts of myself. Trying to stay sane. This is going to be absolutely miserable. Well, here we are. We are officially on Victoria Island. We made the crossing. Now, stick on the shoreline for 300 miles, something like that. I can see now that getting water here is going to be an issue. It's a very sandy island by the looks of it. Seeing how it was today with little to no wind, if I had kept going that day that I turned back, I probably wouldn't be here. It really takes a lot of mental energy to block out all that fear and all those bad thoughts. Just keep going. Big morning, look at this. That is officially the first frost of the trip. Kind of, I don't know. I'll say it makes me nervous, but it's just like, holy shit, winter is coming and winter's coming fast. Which, it's not the end of the world, it just makes things harder and tougher. I knew that was going to happen. It's nothing to be surprised about, but it's one of those things. That's definitely one advantage of it getting colder. The coffee tastes even better. And the warm mug feels amazing right now in my hands. Another 6 to 8 weeks. On the home stretch now. The home stretch now, boy. What a fucking shit show. Turned out to be a bad day. Very bad day. So I was riding right along shore, and wouldn't you know it, a rocky shoal I didn't see, and smack dab right in that dagger board hard, very hard. It needs a real epoxy job. I really, really need that dagger board, especially for what's to come. It's a big fix. Some wolf tracks around here. The epoxy is mixed at a 5-to-1 ratio. The real issue is there's not really many measuring cups around here. So the only thing I can see to use is a shotgun shell. I'll cut the top off the shotgun shell, pour it to BBs, easy peasy. It's a big moment. Even with that repair, I fear that another smack like that, man, she might be done in. But whatever, it's fixed. Oof. And this are getting chapped again. August 27th, and big day. We are just outside of Cambridge Bay. Probably about 5 hours from now we'll be there. Wow. So that means it's been 1 month since I've seen another human being. We are in town. This is Cambridge Bay. Well, this isn't Cambridge Bay. This is where all the cabins are. This is my friend's cabin. I'm about to jump on his four-wheeler right now, head into Cambridge Bay, pick up the food at the airport, and get a few odds and ends at the grocery store, and we are loaded up and ready to go. Feels pretty weird just to walk inside of this place and be indoors. So strange. Feels so strange. Let's go, jump on the quad and get out of here. Holy shit, that's a lot of food. And it's heavy. That top one there. Might be an issue getting all this in the boat. This is way more food than I expected. That's it now. Shell going in there. It's all coming. This is all my food for the next up to 2 months. And there is a lot here. A lot. Now I need to go through it all, organize it, see exactly what's here, and repack it and figure out how we're gonna get all this in the boat, because it's a lot of food. Very excited right now. Feel good, all stocked up on the food, all stocked up on supplies. Nothing more I need. Can't thank my friend Sean enough for offering this cabin to me and taking care of me. He has literally been a godsend, him and his family. Let's go get dressed and get out of here. This is it. Let's go. Well, it's September 1st, and we got our first snowstorm, believe it or not. I had to set the tent up because it looks like this is going to be a 2-day storm, and it's blowing. And luckily, I'm tucked in behind a little ridge, give me some shelter. Another issue is going to start popping up now is fresh water. All the brooks are going to start freezing. Oh, we made it through the night. It was a cold, windy one. Really the only way to stay warm now is moving around doing work or in my sleeping bag, curled up. So that's what I'm doing. Just held up my sleeping bag, listening to music, listening to books, napping, eating, and just trying to stay sane. Oh, the weather's cleared enough to finally get out of here. It's a pretty cold, pretty windy morning, but it's good enough to start moving. Got our first real taste of ice last night, stuff starting to freeze up. Water bags full of ice. Batteries not charging very well, all that fun stuff. But we're gonna try and make some miles today and get off Victoria Island, move over to Jenny Lind Island. Pretty big deal. I broke the dagger board again. I have no idea how I let that happen. Problem now is going to be it's so much colder that I don't know if I'll be able to get the epoxy to set and the fiberglass to set. Only option I have now is to make camp again, assess the situation, and see if I can fix it. I don't know if I got it in me to fix this thing. Just pick back up and keep going. I really don't. I don't even know if I can fix it. I feel very alone right now. Really afraid this just cost me the trip. I just don't want to look back on this day with regret. There's no point in sitting around feeling sorry for myself. May as well just get up and start fixing it. What else am I going to do out here? There's not really many options. Just got to get over it, accept it, try and fix my situation best I can. The real shitty part is I only got one small piece of sandpaper left from the last repair. So I'm going to have to go old school and just use a rock and just scrape the paint off. It's the old repair. That rock works pretty good. Probably better than you'd think. Found a real nice one too. It's almost in the shape of a wedge. It's a good rock for scraping. So what I'm going to have to do is put some thickened epoxy here right in the crack, and then lay a sheet of glass over the whole thing. I gotta do the same thing on the other side, over here where this crack is. This is gonna be a tricky one because it's snowing, it's cold, and I'm gonna have to do something even sketchier after once it's done. So I'm gonna have to put this inside and then bring heat in here. I'm gonna bring my stove in here, my burner, put it up on some rocks, and get some heat in the tent in order to make this cure. So, yeah, it's gonna be sketchy. This is something I would never suggest anyone should ever do. Bringing a fire inside your tent, a gas stove, is a major no-no. So I got a pot of water on there, cold ocean water. I'm gonna run the stove until it comes to a boil. I'll turn the stove off, and then the hot pot of water will work as like a little bit of a heater and keep some heat in the tent. And then I'll turn it on again another half an hour and repeat that process for a few hours to try and get this thing to start curing. Oh yeah, this is my first time sewing, I tell you that. What a feeling watching that polar bear get closer and closer, and just the apex predator up here. He has no worries with anything up here at all. We're getting close. Another 600-700 miles probably. We'll be there. What is making me nervous though, very nervous, the solar panel is starting to give me issues. It has not charged the past 2 days. I just realized that because I just went to turn Starlink on, download the weather forecast for tomorrow, and there wasn't enough juice to run it. That's how low it is right now. That means until I fix that, nothing gets charged other than the Garmin for communication and emergencies, and the chart plotter. Real troubles in paradise right now. Solar panel is not working and I'm not getting any charge in the batteries. That's a big deal for multiple reasons, not just for filming, but mainly because I can't charge my Garmin inReach, which is my only means of communication with the outside world. It's my only safety device I have. So I'm spending the day right now to try and troubleshoot everything, see what's happening, and I am increasingly worried because if I lose all power, I'm just out here in the middle of nowhere in blackness. The solar system might finally be dead. Nothing at all works. I've spent almost 2 days trying to get this thing working now. I basically rewired the whole solar system, changed everything I could change. The only part that I don't have here to replace is the solar panel itself. I think that's what the failure is this. I'm not gonna get to finish. It was really heartbreaking. Really heartbreaking. Because ever since the power system failed and I realized I got no choice but to call it, I've been really struggling mentally. Really struggling. Yeah, sometimes it doesn't matter how hard you work, how much you want it, and how unwilling you are to quit and give up. Sometimes shit just happens you can't control. And it really sucks. It's almost harder when it happens like that than if you just threw in the towel yourself. I hope they all know that I really did try my best. "90 wonderful days waking up in the Arctic. And if all goes good, today will be my second last day. Right now we're about 50 miles from the town. It's going to be very hard to readjust, I think, back to normal life. I'm actually not looking forward to it that much, believe it or not. If this is how you lived all the time, oh man, I think you'd live forever. Oh, I guarantee you one thing. You're not going to get a coffee down south tastes as good as that. Oh, that's good coffee. Holy shit, we made it. We've made it. Unload this boat, go for a quick walk. Oh, one thing's for sure. This town is a lot bigger than I had expected. It's pretty big. I've been walking now for at least a mile. It's not across town yet. A lot of people, a lot of quads on the go. Unreal. I might be here a while once I find some friends. Oh, this is Joe Haven. What a place. May as well be a big city to me at this point. It feels very busy. All those old explorers from back in the day, the shipwrecks, you know, aren't far from here. Real thrill and real honor to kind of get us somewhat of a taste of that on this trip. Not nearly the same thing, but I understand the struggle that they wanted and why they loved it so much up here, because it's absolutely magical and the people are even better. Everyone in Joe Haven here has been so nice to me since I showed up. Since the very first night when we pulled my boat up off the shore and had somewhere to sleep that night indoors, till now, it's been absolutely wonderful. I feel so blessed to be able to come up here, spend my summer trying to cross the Arctic. It's absolutely magic. Learned so much out there about myself, about the land. Best days of my life, by far. Just like that, now we're back in the real city. We're back in civilization proper now, here in Edmonton, just touched down. And even just the air feels different. Sea green grass, it's moist, it's warm. I'm definitely well overdressed for Edmonton right now.